Going. Hello, my loves. How are you doing? Hello, Anna. Beautiful. Nice to see you here. Amazing. How is it going? How are you dropping into this space today? Today's chat, today's session will be mainly to, because I just realized that we are in this midpoint in this journey. So I realized exactly we're in the midst of it right now. So I felt like today's session, of course, we're gonna be diving deep into the magic of light language, and we get to explore all the avenues. Hello, Barbie, beautiful. We're gonna get to explore all these like creative, cosmic, conscious avenues that light language has in store for us. But I realized that, being in the midst of this journey right now, it feels very relevant as well to also have the space a little bit to check in with each other today, to just share a little bit where we are in this journey of, unlocking our voice, expanding our voice, connecting with our voice. So really at the very beginning of the session, my intention is for us to just have a chat, maybe like a sharing circle, so we can, get to know how we're doing. How is our voice feeling? What is the progress that we've seen? What are the breakthroughs? Where are you at with the content, with the modules? And just sort of like have a little bit of an overview of, okay, where are we? Where are we? Where is every one of us in this journey? Like wherever you are, we know that it's all perfect, that it's all divine. Like all of us are just going like through the initiations, the breakthroughs, the awakenings that are just perfect. So we're just gonna honor where we are and share a little bit with the sisters as well. Like what are the intentions that we are calling in for this other half of the journey? I'm loving your hair, Barbie. I'm loving it. Like Leo season, Lioness is out to play. I love it. Yeah, let's just like, her down. I feel like, right? I feel like, I don't know how you're feeling these days, but it feels like all the mental energy that's around, it's just asking us to maybe let go a little bit of our head and our face and our muscles and all the rigidity. Like, what is going on? Drop it in the chat. Like, how are you feeling today? What is it that you're bringing? Honestly, for me, these last couple days, it's been mental, like so much mental energy coming through, so many endings as well. Like today, I literally said goodbye to the job that it's been in my life for 6 years. So I'm like, it's been like this whole, I'm just getting the goosebumps. It's like all this, inner death happening, and I'm just ready for this new chapter, right? But of course, that comes with sometimes like the mind trying to think so much, figuring things out, and just realizing it's not about that. It's just about letting go of control and just going all in with your dreams, no? But yeah, it's been super mental this week, and I know that some of the sisters as well have been feeling that as well. So I would love to hear where you're at. Where are you at? I know Barbie as well. You're like finalizing the program. Is it like are you finalizing the program, or are you in the last stage as well of the connected to source? Kind of, right? Yeah. And Anna, I mean, you're about to fly to the States and present on stage. Like, what is going on? Like, the quantum leaps we're all going through. It's wild. It's wild. So, just a space today to a little bit like reflect, like, as well, where we started and where we are and where we're heading, because I feel all of you have already been in such a portal of expansion. And I would love to hear from you, of course. Anna, go ahead.
Wow, like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I just feel like I'm bleeding and I'm so excited. I've been so excited the entire week for this call because it's one of my favorite things, light language. And yeah, I just feel like, I came from some holidays with my mom, and we had a long weekend by the beach. And, on paper, it was meant to be amazing and so on, but I just experienced so many initiations and so many things. And I was premenstrual, and then like I feel like I'm going through a really big wealth recalibration. And that was what was happening, because I treated her to something expansive, and she was in her scarcity mindset, right? And she was like, yeah, she wanted to receive and have fun, but a lot of like those like, oh, that's a lot of money. And I was like, yeah, but like, I'm doing it from my heart, and it's feeling amazing, right? And like when you're clearing, and I'm gonna get emotional. Okay. Thank you for the safe space. Yeah, I just feel like this big clearing that is going on in my lineage right now. And it just feels like there is so much abundance. And at the same time, there is like, like almost sometimes swimming against the current with family and with lineage. And yes, I'm taking her along with for the ride and she's on board. But at the same time, I just feel like, oh, like I'm moving further and then I feel like the frequency just drops and I'm like, please, like, like it feels like suffocating as well, like, to carry the weight of like my lineage. It's like, okay, one thing is to do it by yourself and like, and to break free from the beliefs, but then having people in your life be along the ride, it's just been a wild ride and I'm still bleeding. And she yesterday had some fever and I tried to take care of her and she was like in that kind of like weird mental spiral. And today I have kind of like fever myself and I'm like, I checked and I know there is the solar storms happening. So I know a lot of us, we're receiving so much information from the cosmos that our bodies are processing. And I feel like this is the quantum leap energy, but I'm feeling like and then one of the things I also want to reflect in regards to the calling as well, it's about the Q&A. I listened to the whole like the beautiful message that you sent on public speaking, and I would love to also have a little chat on that. And yeah, I'm celebrating so much. I'm going to be the MC for the Living Brave Live conference, which is like Barbie. You know what this means. Thank you for celebrating. This is huge. And I could, like, I just feel like really like in this moment where there is so much expansion, right? And there is the edginess that is coming, right? This responsibility, because Shoshi's flying me over there too, and I'm gonna be so that's amazing. And I'm having chills. And then also the big responsibility as I'm gonna be like, like the face of the MC. And what do I say? Right? I know I just need to be me, and that's what she says, like, just be you. But it's like like, I'm feeling, when I was listening to your reflections on public speaking, I was feeling so much edginess about it. And at the same time, I could totally see it on the other hand, like, yeah, of course, there's a side of me, I'm like, yeah, like, of course, it's done. Yeah, no worry. And then I was like, oh. So I'm feeling so much right now, finishing my bleed, still with my bleed, but I'm like, oh, and I'm excited. I'm excited to open up the channel today and to just really like, like also a realization. For instance, yesterday, Shosh in the class that she's running, she pulled me up to speak in front of everyone as well. And I feel like every time that I'm now coming into a powerful room, and there were like nearly 100 people in there, like I feel like I've been calibrating to hold for my voice to be projected in bigger rooms. And I know this is something I was doing last year already, at small steps, and this year it's coming in really strong. And it's epic. Everything is beautiful. Everything is epic. I just launched my membership as well with the Rose Portal, which it has been so long in the making. And I'm like, fuck, this week has been like a pure catharsis, because this membership was so hard for me to give birth to, because I know it's going to impact many women, and it's going to be having a really like, it's going to be a potent place for women to have an over-inner place to have accountability on their pleasure. And I knew, because of like how big it's going to be, the resistance was so huge. And everything, the branding and this and that, I was like, so much in my mind. I was like, just need to give birth to this right now. And tomorrow it's starting officially. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going through it. It's feeling amazing, but I'm feeling squished from here and here. And I'm like, I love you. That's me.
And I
You
love it
remember
so
the podcast?
much.
Yes, I remember. Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you so much for pouring your heart into this space,
Oh,
and yeah, all your emotions, all the ups and downs. It's so welcome, and it helps us as well, like just like see ourselves in you. So thanks for paving that way, because we know that everything you're accomplishing is huge, And you know, it's all the work. Yeah, I'm getting emotional as well. God, it feels like I'm bleeding as well. All the work you have put to get here, like only you know, and God knows that, you know, and it's like it's all been so perfectly divinely guided, and you're ready now. You're ready to take off. You're ready to share your voice and impact this room of full of powerful women who cares? Who cares if they made more money or like been more in the industry? Like you have what it takes. You have what it takes to be on that stage that day and share your powerful presence and voice. And that is what counts, no? And just like a reflection that you're ready for this. You've been preparing for this a lifetime, if not many lifetimes. So you know, of course, we can work on the small things and we can work on the edginess and you can become even more embodied and prepared for this, but you are already so ready. And I have this like full body trust when I say this. And it's gonna be amazing. And I'm also so honored to be there and witness you because it's gonna feel like, you know, such a beautiful graduation. Not of the calling, but like the whole of the journey, you know, that we've lived together and that I've witnessed you in your growth and your business. And wow, it's gonna be incredible. So I'm so excited for you and celebrating you big time because this is gonna be epic.
Thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you. And I feel like it's gonna be the graduation also from the calling. And when I joined the calling, I didn't know this would happen, right? And of course, like you know, like the universe has this beautiful way of like I think I wanted to come in here for one reason and then, you know, now prioritizing the public speaking. And yeah, just thank you for the reflections because I know like it's gonna be everything is gonna be amazing, but there's so many blessings coming, right? That the nervous system is feeling like, can I really hold everything? And it's just so beautiful. It really is so beautiful. And thank you, Haydina, as well. And thank you, my love.
We love you. Barbie, you
And
wanted
thank
to
you,
say
Barbie, as
something?
well. Like, remember
Yeah,
the podcast? Yeah.
the podcast, but you know, I was a year in Expand with you, and you know, privately, I've told you like a lot of times you led this $60,000 experience. Like you led it. You were more of a mentor, you know, and when we went through our hard time with Shoshana, I was like ready to say, fuck it. And because of you and your level of heart and maturity, I was able to say, I trust you, Anna. So because I trust you, I trust that I'll be on this ride to have my one-on-one conversation with her, you know, to resolve the conflict. And I have to tell you, I wasn't going to say anything. So for me, it was a no for Colorado. Like, it's actually still not a yes, but when I found out that you're going to be the speaker, I wrote to the team to find out, okay, let me see if I'm going to go just to witness you, you know? And it's actually, I'm not talking shit. Like, it's really actually not for her. I would only go because I really want to witness you. So I mean, I have goosebumps too. It would be for you, just to see you. And yeah, let's just take that in. So
Thank you, Barbie.
yeah. So that's that. And I mean, we could talk privately about that, but like I'm still like, I'm not sure because there's some things that I'm still not okay with, but I'm like, oh, but I want to see you. And you're gonna be there, Georgina. So I'm like,
I'm
okay, so
gonna be
now
there,
you
and
are
Irina as
too.
well.
Oh my God. Okay, so now I have to see what I need to do to make it happen. But I still have some inner conflict with some stuff that happened that I have to like, is it in alignment with my values? But you guys are my values, you know? So now it's easier. And I'm just finished teaching because now back to me, like I'm teaching connected to source. And last week, Georgina taught a class for me on the voice. And so I continued it this week, and I'm like, but what are we communicating, right? Like, because you talk about the mechanics and using a channel and all of that. It was so beautiful. It was so perfect. But then this week I was like, okay, well, what are we communicating? What are our values? And what is our body, heart connected to this powerful ally that is the mind saying? And so I'm taking myself through the process. And when I found out that Anna's going to speak, I'm like, fuck, I'm like, I need to be there. So anyway, so I'm like, "Ooh, you guys are going to be there too." So, okay, we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna, I don't even know when it is. Like, I know it's in August, all of that. But anyway, I feel so 30th of August. What time does it start? I'll do my homework, but like, is it in the morning? Because I'm have to see, like, do I fly in the morning? Can I just come all day? Okay, I'm just gonna see. Because I have a lot of pieces and with my husband and 8:30. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, all right. I'm gonna figure it out. I might just go in the morning and then like come and see you and like hug you girls and do the thing. So that's that. Okay. Irina, you just came in. The prompt was what's going on, right? So I took myself out into the world, right? Like into the 3D world. And what I'm seeing is, you remember when we talked about radiance and you have your before and after picture, Anna, in your mastermind. And what I'm seeing is that when people see me, they're like, you literally are like a glow stick, you know? Like people can feel my radiance. And that feels like just so confirming of the work that we've been doing. It's not makeup, it's not, you know, that I'm performing, it's like who I'm being. And I'm so clear that I need to be in the world, you know, like in the world. And something happened within me in the past few weeks where I was like, it's just time, you know? So I've made over $13 million in my other business and pennies in my coaching industry, right? And I'm like, when am I gonna fucking own like who I am and what I am and stop undervaluing myself and my gifts and my prices. Like I sold courses for $111. Like Connected to Source is a fucking masterpiece that I sold for $111. And I've been showing up for, it's going to be 8 or 9 weeks. So, and I feel the energetic drain of undervaluing something that is so powerful. You know, like what I'm seeing, and I just posted about it today, what I'm seeing is women glow. Like they're showing up every week and they're looking different. Like their wrinkles are disappearing. You know, I tend to work with women that are around my age, like 40s, 50s. The women are looking different. This is my work for $111. I'm like, am I fucking crazy? So it's done. It's like, and then I think, Georgina, what really was like the key, worth more than anything we've done, was the one-on-one astral reading, the embodiment, because you were like, you're this and this, and I was like, it was just an invitation to step into it, you know? It's like I feel it because I've never seen and that was something Shosh has always said to me. He's like, she was always like, Barbie, like people say they're healers and that they're spiritual, but she's like, you're one of the most spiritual people that I know. So I'm like, can I own that? You know? And so doing the astral reading with you was so important. And so I'm just like, something happened within me and I'm just like stepping into it. Okay, the last part, when you say the up levels, like, you know, my husband has been through so much with his health and he still is. And I feel myself, my commitment with him is like solid, right? But I feel like, I've been a hermit. I'm 50 years old. I've been a hermit for 10 years. So we've been hermiting because of health, because of love, because of all these things. And yet I'm a 6'2" in human design, and he is too, but he's going through so much health stuff. And my hermit phase, I feel myself like I'm beginning to blossom. And I see my husband like, what's going on, right? Like worried and scared. And, you know, what does this look like if I'm going into the world and he's in his cocoon And it, like, I feel my heart like, ooh. And yet I'm just trusting because my love is solid, you know, but I see how challenging and scary and difficult it is, you know. And I'll share something really private. So I was invited to speak to something the other day, and I didn't want him to come because a lot of times he takes over, and it was a space for girls. And he, you know, sometimes with like his brain or whatever, he doesn't like get it that like it's not appropriate, you know, or like this is a space for girls and I'm the one that's presenting to the girls. This is not about you. And he has, you know, he was very famous. So he's used to taking up all the space or the attention. And I knew that if I took him with me, he would interrupt me or he would whatever. And it was a small space. And it took everything from me to be like, I'm gonna go by myself. And I saw it like broke his heart. And I told him why. I'm like, I mean, talk about voice, you know, and saying things that are hard. I said, you interrupt me, you know, and, you know, and I don't want that. Like, it's not okay with me. And he was so heartbroken for days. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope I didn't like kill him because I really saw his life force strain, you know? And I was like, did I do the right thing? And I said, I did the right thing for my soul. I did the right thing for the greatest good of all. And then I looked at astrology, and the astrology was saying that my husband, it's time for my husband to examine his own behavior, even if it's hard. And so I was like, I did this for him. Like I took a stand, and I'm like, it's not okay for you to be like this. So anyway, so Anna, to your point, it's been so completely like the duality. It's like, I see that I have goosebumps. It's my time to blossom. And this is for us. This is, you know, because I have no more energy for my other business. Like I'm doing it because it brings in, I got paid $750,000 last year, but I don't want the responsibility. I don't like it. It's killing me. And so it's time for me to blossom, but it, you know, what happens with my husband? Anyway, that was really hard. Yesterday was his birthday, and yesterday he was like the king, you know. And he asked me, he found the yoni egg. He's like, what is this? And I was like, he's like, where do you put it? Right? Like, what do you do? What is it supposed to do? And I wasn't able to answer Anna and Georgina and Edina, which meant that I was like, it's time for me to go back. And I was like, oh, it's so that I can be your sacred slut. And he was like, well, what? I'm like, your secret slut. Right? Because we talked about that in one of your majestic drip. And then, so nothing happened, but I'm like, okay, this was like a blessing that he's got my little yoni egg in like a corner of his desk, right? Like, what is that thing? And so much duality, so much goodness, so much stuff. And I'm like completely open and trusting the process. And yeah, maybe I'll see you guys August 30th. Okay, that's it. I love you guys.
Thank you, Marty, for sharing, love. Oh my God, that would be such a dream to like meet you all in person in Denver. Like honestly, let's see what the universe says. Barbie, you'll know what's best aligned with you, but that would be such a dream for me for sure. And thank you so much for sharing and yeah, sharing with vulnerability as well, like all these initiations with using your voice. Like we're just being tested on a daily. Like it's great to, you know, it's great to show up in the calls, it's great to do the work, it's great to do the toning, it's great to do this, that, but like if then you're not speaking your truth in all your relationships, in all the spaces that you take up, what are you even doing? Like that is the real testament of the work that we're doing here. So I celebrate you for your courage because I can imagine that it was not easy, especially you as such an intuitive being, knowing what he would touch in his heart, saying that, but at the same time staying anchored in love and knowing that this was your highest service and his highest service, like to share. And I have to say as well that right now in Leo season, all the activations that are happening, like especially for people who have placements in Leo, it's just strong, like the energy, it's freaking strong. So there's a lot of activations on like abundance, the way that we relate with relationships, all really like touching these conversations on truth constantly, truth between one and the other. How do you relate from a space of truth and love, but respecting your truth first and putting that first and knowing that this is like the highest service. And I know we've been having conversations with sisters, right, about this, and like how can you speak from your truth and still respect the other person's truth, but just knowing that expressing that out is the highest service that you can do and the highest form of love, and owning that and just like then holding the space lovingly for the other person. You know, it's not easy. So we're just definitely paving the most powerful and like brave way that exists. But I celebrate you big time for doing it, because I definitely see your glow. And honestly, like, it's been a ride since we were in the Womb Mastermind with Anna, and look at us, like, you know, creating the program, showing up, being our authentic selves. It's like it's been a blossoming. So as well, like, heads up here, like, celebration for Anna's work, because it's been, yeah, beautiful. And also the reason why we're all here as well today. So honoring that as well. Anna, you've been the massive connector here. And yeah, and as well, it's just a way to also honor the role that our wombs play in the work that we're doing here. No, it's not about using your throat just by the sake of, for the sake of expressing yourself and taking up space. It's about really speaking your desires out and owning your desires through the heart, but being able to speak your truth from that space. And that work wouldn't be possible if it was not for all this connection and awakening to the woman, especially with all the work that you provide, Anne, as well. So yes. So beautiful to see how all of us get to share our gifts, and it's so beautiful and perfect and complementary, and it lifts each other up, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Barbie, for sharing. Irina, would you like to share a little bit about where you're at in your life, in your journey, in your business, whatever you feel called to share? It would be fantastic to hear you.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, actually. That's the truth. I don't have a fucking clue what's going on. I found these last 3 weeks that I've been here with family very, very hard. For some reason, I don't have reception. My data is not working. Wi-Fi doesn't connect to my devices. Only me. Everywhere I go, everyone around me is fine. Which I tried to find out what the fuck is the message. And I thought maybe it was time to let go of the control I was trying to. Even show up is a way of control sometimes. Try and show up as much as you think you should. So I've been being. And yeah, there was a lot of family dynamics coming up. And I don't know, did I do well or not? Fuck, it's so hard. It's so confusing sometimes. Like, I feel like I still was very tied up to expectations, which is heartbreaking. And then really trying to ground in the present moment and like find the pockets of love and yeah, whatever, like find the joy in whatever was there at the moment. I let go of so much, which usually would have made me react. And I did not react, which I guess that's a plus. And I did have a couple of conversations, but they were a bit forceful from my side, maybe even a bit harsh. I don't know if, like, yeah. I cried a lot, and that was nice. And yeah, I was in and out of like alignment. And just realizing that sometimes you think you have it all figured out, and then you just get very humbled and realize you know nothing. And just sitting with that, really. In terms of like my business, well, I am launching this program, which I'm very excited about. It was called something, and I changed name and gear towards somewhere else because I feel like I'm creating things, and when I'm launching them 1 week after, they no longer make any sense because I'm evolving faster than my ideas are sometimes. And I changed the name, and I changed I made it a bit more edgy for me and truthful. Yeah. So that's very exciting. And I had so many ideas and so many things that I want to put up, and I couldn't. And I was like, yeah, sit with that one. So yeah, and I had a breakthrough a couple of days ago as well. A pretty massive one. About the smoke screen that I had, thinking that I was showing up in my truth, which is completely bullshit. And suddenly I felt like, no, wait, this is the bigness of me, and this is my actual truth. And this is how much I'm showing up, regardless that a few months back I was showing up this much. My truth is over there now. So what are you gonna do? You know? And I saw it very clearly. So yeah, that was nice and refreshing. And I just, again, been letting it be what it is. And that's pretty much everything that I've got for you. Thank you.
I love you, Rina. I love our shares because it's like we start like with all the feels and all of a sudden we just finish radiant because that's just like embracing us in our nature, no? Like feeling it all, embracing it all. Like who cares? We're just like this and we're celebrating. Exactly. You glowed more and more as you spoke and you just like realizing, okay, I found my truth. Cool. Like that's gonna be your northern light now for the next steps. And then probably that's gonna be just the peak of the iceberg. And when you get there, you're gonna see another truth appearing which was even bolder and it was more important to you and you're gonna go head that direction and that's totally fine. And it's embracing that, no, as part of the journey and just taking your audience and a lot like the people in your life along in this journey of evolving and growing. And it's like we're here for that, no? And thank you so much for your share because like as I was also like transiting a lot of things this week, I realized, no, that I used to sometimes micromanage so much how I took up space and how I shared my voice and my message when I was in these moments of things crumbling down. And then I realized that the more I took people along in this process of, I don't have it figured out, I don't care, I'm gonna go and do it anyway, I'm gonna share my voice, I'm gonna speak my truth right now, and that is perfect. And realizing that that is what people like, that is what makes you magnetic because it's your truth. That's your truth, that you're human and you're here figuring it out or just like trying to find where your heart is guiding you, and that is perfect, no? And like realizing, cool, we're all on the same like we're in the same boat, like 24/7. Even if people don't show up and share that on the internet, we're all on the same boat. Like truth is just like, it feels like it's just changing. It's not never changing, we're just like shedding layers of it and realizing deeper parts of our soul and our mission, and we just get to do that together, no? And to me it's been as well like just reflecting back on what you shared, no, like a breakthrough this week that I had on just share where you're at, like share your experience, share that you're living this job you've been at for 6 years, share that, you know, all the emotions that you're feeling, and that's what makes your feel magnetic because that's authentic to you. You don't have to show up in anything that you're not, right? And like constantly coming back to this truth all the time and realizing that the truth is also this living thing that is just with you, not living like just beating in your heart all the time. And yeah, that's a beautiful thing to reflect on and to anchor. So thank you so much for sharing. Beautiful. I celebrate you big time. And I cannot wait to hug you as well in real life. Like, what is this happening? I'm so excited. Well, thank you all for sharing. I love just having this beautiful check-in together and seeing where we're at. And of course, like, you know, I appreciate as well that there's like so much probably content to catch up on this journey as well. So I also wanted to ask you where you're at, like where are you at with like the practices? Have you been able to watch the modules? Is there something that you're excited to dive deep into but you haven't been able to do so yet? Like where are you at with that? Like no shame, no guilt. It's just like everyone's like perfect in their divine timing. But it would be fantastic to know a little bit on like where you're heading and what is it that you're sort of like focusing your energy now, and if there's anything else that you would like to bring like, I don't know, a breakthrough or any question or doubt or observation or whatever that you feel like called to share now before we dive deep into like language, I would love to hear that as well. I need to catch up in modules, but really good in overtone. Have you been practicing, Irina? Yeah? How is it going? Do you want to show us? Come on, that'd be cool.
Now I will do it terribly, but honestly, I've been teaching my kid. He
Oh,
finds
love.
it hilarious. Yeah. I've been doing it in the dinner table. People look at me like I've gone insane. But I love it. It makes me so happy. It's so like fun and playful. And I actually think I'm good at it.
I told you already in the session, you nailed it. Like I could already start hearing the overtone, and that's definitely something that doesn't tend to happen. And I can tell you, it's not usual. So people really need the time to practice a lot, even like weeks and months, to actually get to the point where they can isolate the overtone. So honestly, it's incredible that you're already on it. I
Yeah,
love
and
that.
I just want to say that for me, when it came to overtone singing, because I went with Georgina into a retreat and I learned this technique as well. And at the beginning, I couldn't really, do it. But now, the more you practice it every day, the more that the voice is unlocking. And for me, like the more you're able to find the overtone, and it's just incredible. I would love to do it if that's okay. Yeah. Okay.
Please.
Could you hear it?
We kind of lost the sound. I think it's
Oh,
like the
yeah?
overtones or the harmonics that Zoom cannot pick it up or
Yeah,
something.
that's okay. That's
Ah!
okay. I could hear it. I could hear. Yeah.
That's the important thing. Yes, amazing. And Barbie, have you been able to catch up on the practice?
Yes, no. I said that I didn't mean to message Anna. I meant to say I've been a good girl with the modules, but that's not true. I started watching the overtone module, and then I got distracted and then I left. But when you did the class for us last week for my program, my throat was so sore that it was a little bit traumatizing to want to try again, because it was like I had screamed my lungs out for like 5 days. And so I've been just practicing like humming and like, but I've been a little afraid. And Monday I went to he's like a cranial sacral manipulation, and he did my throat, and he said that next to my vocal cords there's like this little cartilage that he could feel tension there. I'm like, where is it? Tell me exactly so I could tell you, right? But it was right like next to my vocal, and I said, why is that happening? He's like, good question. It might just be poor posture. And I noticed day in and day out how I'm always like this, right? Like looking at the screen or like on my phone. So, but I really received what you said, that you don't think that it's because of the power of my voice, but more to do with like my posture, which I agree. So I've been good up until module 3, and then I haven't, but I have energy for it again, so.
Amazing. Yeah, totally recommend you to create the space to do overtone singing, because that will literally unlock a new level of how you relate with voice. And I really mean it. And Irina already like could feel the shift in the voice just by tapping into it. So, it's great, the vocal toning, because it really sets you like the ground on, okay, how to work with energy and sound and the different parts of the body. But when you tap into overtone singing, there's something that the mind, like what we're going to be doing today with light language, like there's something that the mind cannot comprehend. So it just, this kind of disconnects, and it's like the sound takes over. The sound takes over, and there's something magical that happens about that. And also because you have to really be very careful on the different positions of the mouth, that also brings a new level of awareness and consciousness on how you use your voice. So that will really help you as well, just become even more aware on how are you using your tongue, which is something that you also referred to as at some point at the beginning of the journey. How are you using your mouth cavity? how is the air flowing? You know, it's really gonna give you this next level like awareness on how to project your voice. So totally recommend you to do that, and I cannot wait to to witness. Maybe for the next session you can already share with us. But yeah, honestly, it's life changing. It's life changing. Wow, beautiful. Okay, well, I'm happy to hear you all at your own rhythm, divine timing with everything. You know that you can always drop any question or any breakthrough in the Telegram, and I'll be super happy to support you. And for the rest of the session today, I'm very excited because, you know, like one of the things that I was most scared to do at the same time as excited was to create space for us to tap into light language. So this feels especially special for me today. Anna's nodding, she knows. And before we dive deep into it, I just wanted to share a little bit of like my experience with connecting with light language. And it's very funny because this is something that came to me without even me realizing what was light language. Like it is something that started to happen naturally in me. It was like a remembrance just awakened, and a need just started to to come up for me of starting to create frequencies and sounds and words that my mind could not really understand. And it was not until the point where one of the Andara, the crystals that we all carry, Anna as well, she's a guardian as well for the Andara, and I have them here. One of the guardians of these crystals came to me one day, and she started to talk to me about light language, and then I started to realize that this was a thing. And then like my journey of really understanding what it was and seeing other people that did that and what really meant started there. But again, this is something that happened naturally to me. Now, of course, when you look at like how people show up in their lives and how they use their voices and how they sing in most of the spaces, you know, usually like the words make some sort of sense, no? And you can understand from the mind what is happening on what is it that they're communicating. But turns out that when you're connecting with light language, the mind doesn't have a say on anything. And that is the magic and the power of this practice, as I'm going to be sharing later. So of course, there was like this edginess in me that was very scared to use my voice to project these sounds and these frequencies, because there was this voice that was projected into my mind that said that people are going to think that I'm crazy for using my voice and expressing this out into the world. So for me, it was this whole initiation, of course, of like finding other women that I could share light language with. That was like, I will always remember the first time that I did an in-person light language transmission with someone. And I was so scared, and I could literally feel in my body somatically the resistances of doing so. So imagine the power of doing this and really what it unlocks for you. And something shifted that day. And since that moment, you know, we've been as well with Anna as well, practicing with each other, and sometimes even like communicating with each other using light language. And there's something very beautiful that happens when you just allow the mind to just disconnect and allow to be this channel and to express these cosmic codes that I'm going to be talking about and experiencing, which is the most exciting thing about today. So it was very funny because I think that all of you already received the transmission on social media the first time that I tapped into light language and shared that transmission, which was like a whole revolution for me and for the people that followed me. And it was like another testament that, okay, Georgina, you're meant to share this with the world and to also guide women connect with these. And it was so funny because I had all these resistances in my mind of, wow, my family are gonna see this. My family are gonna think that I'm crazy. I went crazy. I totally lost it. What has happened to her? Like all these voices started to come in. And the funny thing about this is that I manifested a bot that went into my post and literally commented the same shit that I was hearing in my head. So I had a bot commenting on the post saying, "Are you completely crazy? You lost your mind," or I don't know, something like that. I screenshot it because I was like, whoa, okay. Thank you. Like manifestation powers are real and they happen. So watch out for the subconscious thoughts, because even if you're not aware of them, they can be manifested. So that definitely happened. But it was great because that was a testament. Okay, Georgina, you've already manifested someone telling you you're crazy for sharing your truth and expressing these codes. That's done. You're alive. Nothing has happened to you. You're safe. People as well are receiving it, are celebrating you, are like expanded and activated by what you did, even if your mind cannot understand it. Something you've done is just right. So keep going, no? And that was for me the confirmation of, okay, this is something I need to bring into this space, and this is something I really want to initiate women into experiencing, and also, you know, like playing a little bit more on. So I just wanted to share a little bit of context on, okay, how light language came into my life and what it's meant for me, because it is really an activation for me today to also be bringing this into the space. So this is huge. This is huge. So let me just write the chat. I don't know what was the first thought. Yeah, I'm afraid that what my hobby will say. Yeah, like, great, that's an initiation. It's like the other day you spoke your truth and nothing happened, right? So yeah, he'll have an opinion, that's okay. But if you're anchored in love and heart, and which is what this practice is about, nothing will happen. It's just another layer of what Barbie is here to do, no? And that's gonna be part of the initiation. So cannot wait to see what happens after you share that with him. So first of all, about light language, before we start playing with it, like, I feel like just trying to put words into what light language is almost like not honoring the nature of what light language is. And so there was a part of me that wanted to go into like a full research mode and, you know, get all the insights and all the perspectives and all the people that are sharing light language. But then there was this other voice deep in my heart that said, Georgina, it's not about sharing more insights on it. It's just about setting the right space, the right tone, so the women can trust the channel that they are and can get to experience the magic that is unfolded, and the magic and the power that is unlocked when you also can witness each other experiencing this powerful transmission, no? So that to say that, you know, I went onto this thinking that I needed to use my logical mind and intellectual mind to actually put some context to it, but I'm just gonna keep it super, super short and sweet, just intentionally, because I really want for us to have the space to fully dive deep into the experience and feel it in our bodies, because this is all about the frequency of what we are transmitting. It's not about understanding it from the mind, no? And of course, it's when we look at like what light language is, like, there is the word language in it, so I guess there is some sort of order or some sort of like meaning to what we are doing. Yes, there is, but it is in such a like cosmic level that our human minds, if not connected with our heart and with our higher self, cannot really comprehend. So the power of what we're going to be doing today is really connecting with this deeper knowing that doesn't need the human logical intellectual mind in order to comprehend, right? So in a society that has been so programmed into the logic, into the, you know, into the intellect, into the very like Mercury, Gemini, Virgo side of things, looking at it from astrology point of view, we've been polarized into the Virgo, trying to control things, trying to understand it all, trying to plan for everything that happens in our life, trying to understand it all, right? Because we have been told that that was where our strength resided. And especially as women, that's totally not the reality. And we have, of course, awakened to the truth. But what happens is that we have forgotten or even demonized a little bit the other polarity, which is the Pisces energy, which is all about the dreamy world, the creativity, the intuition, the psychics, also like people who the society call them delusional, no? And who dare to imagine a different world and dare to just download cosmic codes and connect with this like collective unconsciousness. All of that is the energy of Pisces. So because we have been polarized so much in the like Mercury energy on the other side of Virgo, that's the other axis on astrology, so it's the opposite, so it's the same energy but different, let's say, sides of the coin. We need to go to this other polarity of the Pisces energy and get lost in something that our minds cannot comprehend, so we can then find this sweet spot in between and open the channels as we are meant to open them. So going into this practice, which is to me like the other polarity of what we have been practicing all our lives, which is always, you know, sharing things that you know are going to serve a purpose, that you know are going to have a meaning, that have a specific, you know, just that are very structured and planned from the mind. That's, we are masters at that. We know how to do it. We know how to articulate beautiful messages and videos and masterclass and programs and books and all of it. But now we are being asked to also go into the other polarity so we can find the sweet spot. So it's not about staying here, it's not about staying there, it's about finding the spot in between, but integrating the two polarities, because we have been so much in the other side, no? So to me, connecting with light language is going into this Pisces polarity of trusting that what's coming through you is going to activate something that your mind is not going to comprehend, but that it will serve already a higher purpose of healing, of bringing consciousness, of bringing light codes, bringing new frequencies into the earth, because this is what our voices are here to do, to really anchor new frequencies, new sounds, new vibrations into this plane. And I'm excited for all of you to dive deep into the metaphysics of voice, because that was like a thesis on how ancestors from all over the world have been using frequencies and sound to travel through time, to anchor new like it's like incredible. So I'm excited for you to dive deep into that. So probably that's going to give you a little bit more of context as well on how we can use the voice as also like a portal for anchoring these new codes, no? But you know, it's time that we finally trust the voice and the channel and the oracle that we are. And we cannot do that on our daily basis when we are communicating with our clients, with the people that we love, if we are scared to go onto this other polarity of trusting that even if you don't know what the fuck is coming through your mouth, because it's connected to your heart and your higher self, it's serving a purpose, no? And I totally hear you. Like it can feel scary and exciting at the same time. Barben is like, nah, what is happening? I totally hear that, because I know the feeling. I've definitely been there, and it still happens to me every time that I'm about to post something like that on social media. It's like, what? But you know, this is the beauty of being in this container, that we are all in this journey, that we all get to witness each other in this like expansion, no? And it's a safe space to just practice. And then, you know, if we master just trusting the channel that we are in these safe spaces, then we can go on. And whenever we are articulating a message, if we trust that doing light language is going to serve a purpose, imagine then using your logical mind to articulate things, no? It's like next level trust in the channel that you are. So this is the rationale that I wanted to give you before dropping into the practice, and just open up the channel a little bit to understand really the potency of the work that we're doing and why we're going on into this polarity right now, to then like come back to to the sweet spot in between. And I'm loving seeing the yawning and the movements. Like I feel we're already being activated here. Can you feel it? Because I have like chills all over my body. And Barbie said, it's like I want it, but almost done, but I want it, but done, but yeah. Yeah, I know the yawning is just the liberation of energy. Totally, that happens to me all the time. So, you know, we're here to experiment with what is this light language, like codes that wants to just come through us, no? And this is, again, like, yeah, it is a language because it has a cosmic order, but that our human mind probably right now won't understand, because it's really not understanding it from the logical point of view. But it's about connecting with the frequency of those codes that just naturally come through you. And I don't know if you've ever tried it before in your life, or maybe talking, because I used to do that, for example, with my cats. Before I shared light language with anyone, I would do it with my cats, or I would do it on my own, or I would do it in the shower. Have you ever experienced like just an event where all of a sudden you would just be like sharing with your voice frequency sounds that didn't make any sense to your heart, but that you felt that were like an activation for you? With the dogs outside, exactly. So all of us already do it by nature, but it's almost like sometimes this taboo, no? That if you're not in a spiritual community, you don't know that this is normal. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know why you're doing it. You don't know the healing effects that it had. And it's like all of this is serving a purpose. You're being a channel of something, no? And now making it aware and conscious is even more powerful. But I'm scared to do it in front of you. Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that, because probably in other lifetimes we've shared it and something happened to us. But it's like anchoring this new reality that it is just not an option anymore, and we're safe, and we're celebrating this beautiful expression, cosmic expression that we're about to share, and it's gonna be perfect and beautiful. So, you know, here today, really like the importance of what I really want to like set the tone for. So the importance of light language is to really be anchored with your heart, and really like create the safe space within your body first, to just know that it is safe, that you're connected, and just sort of like connecting with your higher self and your heart like all the time. So every time that I'm about to share, for example, like language, or that I'm about to share transmission, or maybe do it for myself, because it is healing and it's like instant. So you can just like do an activation for yourself in the shower whenever you're feeling not great or whatever is happening to you. You can just do that for yourself and the activation already happens. But it's always like, first of all, like connecting with your heart with your womb, with your higher self, and just like asking for your guides, for your ancestors, for your higher self to just sort of help you open up the channel so you can trust even more, know that you're supported, know that you're just becoming a channel of like a higher force, no? And always doing it from that space, and we're going to do it now together. And is it from that space of the heart that the mind can just step on aside and allow these frequencies to come out? Now, and a lot of people will share a lot of things, no, on light language, and I know that Anna, for example, knows a lot about this, but there's like different galactic races, and there's like different light languages and light codes that can come through you. It's not about understanding in this point, like to me, the important bit is not about understanding from what dimension these codes or frequencies are coming from. You can go on a journey to just explore and play around with it and say, wow, okay, maybe like Lira is like a realm that resonates with me. Maybe I have some codes from Lira, maybe it's from Sirio, maybe it's from the Pleiades. Like, you will just find it, that's something that really resonates with you. You will just find these pockets of knowledge here and there that will just take you to just get to know more a little bit about this galactic resonance that you have, no? But it is not something that you have to be aware of in order to tap into light language. You don't have to know where these codes are coming from. As long as it's anchored with your heart, with your womb and your higher self, these codes are coming and flowing through you for healing, consciousness, to anchor more light, more love into the world. So how are you feeling? Amazing. So what I have in mind for the rest of our time together is to do a little round. So I'm really excited to just give the space for each one of us to explore, no? Like, what does it feel? What does it feel to just become this channel? And I know that there's the edginess of being seen in that expression, which is like another layer of it, no? But I feel it's gonna be so activating and so healing for all of us. And even if there's the edginess there, we welcome the edginess, we welcome the fear, but we know that we are on something bigger here, no? And we're gonna do it anyway. But my invitation would be to do a little round. And I feel like it would be nice as we share along, because I would like each one of us to do a little transmission, and I'm gonna be sort of like creating the space and the time to do so. I would also like, by the end of each one's transmission, to also have a little like sharing, where we can get to share with each other what came up for us. Maybe if we had a vision whilst receiving the transmission from the other sister, if there was like something, because I really want for us as well to realize like the power that the transmission will have on others. Because it's like, until you don't realize that, yes, it has an impact, and yes, these frequencies are generating something healing and beautiful on the other, until we don't see that, it's like we don't have proof. So by the end of today's session, we're gonna leave having initiated ourselves into light language, knowing that, yes, we can do so. We are a channel by nature. It's all perfect. I'm safe to express these cosmic codes. Cool. I'm gonna have practice taking up the space in front of other sisters who will celebrate me for having the bravery and the trust in the channel that I am. Amazing. And the third one, I'm gonna have, which is not that we need the validation, but I'm gonna have the proof for the logical mind, because we need that at some point, right? We're gonna have the proof that these codes that you transmitted intuitively, completely like channeled, are having a beautiful, healing, powerful impact on the sisters in the room. So, you know, we get these three amazing things that I cannot even imagine from my mind the beautiful impact that it will have on the way that you then open up to be a channel in your life. Because imagine if we trust the channel in this space, imagine what we're gonna do when we are just using our voice and articulating messages. It's like incredible, no? So how does that sound? Are you excited? Amazing. Okay, so I feel called to start first. So I'm feeling into 3 minutes, each one of us, okay? And I have here my Tibetan bells. So I'm gonna be measuring, no, timing. I'm gonna be timing 3 minutes, and by the time that I hit the 3 minutes, whenever some of you is doing it, I'm gonna be ringing the bell, and then at your own time, you can, if you feel the call to just wrap it up energetically or doing something, you can do so. And then we're gonna have a little share. We're not gonna be super like long on this share because we just wanna have time for all of us, but just like sharing a few words, sensations that came up with the sister, okay? Also invitation as well, if you feel the call, to move your body as you are channeling this message, because this is something that happened very naturally to me. As I was like just receiving the codes, you can also, of course, close your eyes if you feel safer and more in contact with your heart and your higher self. But like there could be some movements that come up naturally to you. So invitation as well to let go of your body and channel as well whatever movement or whatever things that are coming up for you. Yeah, amazing. So okay, let's start. And invitation here to close your eyes for a second. We're just gonna do a little connection together, closing your eyes, relaxing your body. You're really tuning into your heart. So maybe placing one hand on top of your heart, one hand on top of your womb. And just setting the intention to open up the channel today, to be this divine instrument of consciousness, of light, of healing, of love. Really feeling in your heart this strength, this courage, this inner knowing that knows that everything that comes through, that you express from this space of connection to your truth and your authenticity, is gonna have such a big impact in the world. Just anchoring this trust in yourselves, like visualizing how your throat opens up energetically, maybe with a light color blue that's just expanding from your throat and just clearing out any blockages or any resistances or any fears or anything that could be coming up right now. Dissolving it all with this light that then spreads out through the whole of your body, telling all your cells as well that you're this divine channel and that you're ready to share these cosmic codes with the world, that it's safe to do so, that it's so healing to do so. And from here, invitation to activate a little bit your voice. So we're gonna start with a couple of hums. Inhaling deeply through the nose, inflating your belly. One more time, really feeling into the vibrations traveling through whole of your body. And from this space, you can stay with your eyes closed and heart open to receive the codes. Also putting the intention to open up your third eye to receive intuitively all these codes directly to your pineal gland, activating all these dormant codes. And for the next 3 minutes, I'm gonna be sharing a transmission with you. Naya naya nadai nadai nadaya tsraya tara kera naya tara kera tara anatara yatara Treya snara kera taragya rao shua fro. Nera kera taragya trakya snarai parak tereya karak tarai. Noak tarak starai shop. Ne aterakya staranorakya stara fro katarai. Treya naraya kera tarai. Shwam daraya tarai ke shnaraf tarai. Prop tarai. Ay. No, tarak strai prop. Ne tarak era narai strai kera prop. Ne tarak stara kere kiri. Nere kiri trikyar trik. Ay tarak starak. Nak nak prop. Niki shai prop. Tarai tara na fo na fo. Rumba taraya kya junara marakia fro. Fronaraya tarakira narakisara fro. Terikiai tiri daraya strai shua. Fro anayai tiri anayare. No mayadaye no my fro. Ni araya kiro taraya nastaraya kira tarakira narayarai. From tarakiran staraya kiar. From narai. Rock is tax. Nra. Rum agaran narai. Raktarak strashu. Naya narakirana prum tarakiran tarai from naya tarang kirang strang from tarang starang shum by anaraya tarakyur train naragarak shwat stat strak rup ay taraya drik ats naraya tarakyar marai taraya naraya tarahe hashmas nara Ey anarayu tri tru trum tring ri ayat sanaya kya rumaya nana hayanaya nayanaya moya no maya maya may niyamaya naya mi no maya 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 three, shoo. Taking a deep breath to just take in whatever sensations, feelings. And here, in this just feeling of connection, I invite whoever that feels the call to go next. You can just unmute yourself, and I'm going to be timing 3 minutes and then ringing the bell.
Oh.
Thank you, Irina. Just gonna share a couple of words that came through. Like to me, like all my arms starting to, like I just started to feel like all the chilly sensation, all the chills happening and traveling through my body was incredible. And I intuitively like connected with the north of Spain, with Galicia for some reason. I have no idea if you have a connection there or maybe it was just mine, but like that's what I received. And there was something about the low pitch of your voice that just like transported me on a journey, and it was incredible. It was incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your voice, your transmission.
And can I share that to me it brought me back to India. I was transported to India with your share. I felt like with the ram, I felt like I was in a temple in India, and it was like a temple for the goddess. And we were under like the catacombs of the temple, and I saw you with like a kind of like a scarf around, and you were like with flowers and incense, and you were just performing a ritual rite. I don't know what kind of rite it was, but the feeling I was feeling, it was like kind of like healing even. I feel like someone, I don't know if someone was dead or you were healing them, or like something that it was really deep. And also right after, like for me, like my headache started to go as well. It started with you, Georgina, that I started to feel that my fever thing was going, and then it was with you. I was able to just relax my nervous system, and I saw you healing, and I saw you as this temple keeper in India. That's what came through.
So beautiful. You started to echo, and my first thought was, oh, that's good. Then when it's my turn, it might echo and they won't be able to hear me. And then the echo continued the whole time, but you turned into like this mother energy. And I felt really like, like you sway a baby. I really felt like the mother energy of like, but it was echoes through many dimensions, and then I don't know if you looked at your phone or you did something, and then it was like this big echo And the big echo was like through my whole body. And the feeling was just healing and deep appreciation, and also recognition and permission of your unique and my unique and our unique frequency, because it was so different from Georgina. So it was like, oh, you get to have your own sound. It's not better or this or like that. But the biggest thing was the echo felt like through lifetimes and dimensions and barriers, and you were definitely this mother energy. It was like, wow.
How you feeling, Irina? Would you like to share?
Thank you so much. I know I'm echoing. Can
It
you hear
was
me now?
perfect. The echo was perfect.
It really was.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild because like you finished, and apart from the fact that you had activated my crown chakra, and I could feel everything coming through, and it felt so good and nice and safe. And I usually hide. I always hide. I always fucking hide. And I was like, no, I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go next because I don't understand it and I don't give a shit. And I unmute myself, and I could feel my mind wanting to get in the middle, like what do I have to do to do it well? And I was like, shut down, shut down, shut down. And I was like, I don't give a shit what I need to do. And it came from my heart. And I don't know, like it was swaying up and down, but like I don't know where it came from. But it was this deep need to love. Yeah. Thank you so much for everything you've said. I just really appreciate it. Thanks.
We love you, Irina. Thank you for sharing your frequencies with us. Look at the impact and the healing that it creates. It's just like that every time you just share your voice. So just like let your cells remember that and anchor that, because it's like that. It really is. Thank you, beautiful. Who feels called to go next?
I will. Skiriat Andria Shirio Kirianarasi Kiti Shias. Sukuria Tati Kiria Shirianda Tatiriamba Siria Shikirianda Tis. Eje querías caria Sirianda la Tukuria Shuria Ariasia Yukuriandia Tikuriat. Shokorian Basia Kakaya Nindia Siria la Tukundi. Andokoria Shialituria Sialandaria Kakaya Oa Ea Iria Shukuriat. Tokorian Maria Sikiriat Andiria Sikiria Shukurit. Sokoria tiria yashira tiria hi. Shunkuriandia, Hunkurialias, Juliambriasias, Takiriasiakatias, Yatiria Shukundias. Shuya. Shumbriatakaya siriatikuya arianda shikuriatakum. Turundiria siriatishiat undiriat andiria shiriahi kiriati. Shiriati mariasias tokuria tandia tanti kirio toko morotia seal. Aliondo rondo tikia shia laratia ha. Shikoria tianne andia sikiri okori tikori oriande siaria te tirianda randa rati kukuru tukuru maria siaria tiria ha shum shumbaria takaya siaria takum shumbaria ke andia sialia takum dumbaria sialia tiani aniang ay ay ho ariandi sui Shumria, Sialia, Candria, Shiolia, Carundia, Ammonia, Takaya, Yoshuria, Tiku, Ayayayum, Ayayayum, Sikinandi at Ando, Tukondi, Arimboshi, Andikondi, Tukon.
Wow, thank you. Anna. What has happened? I had this vision of like seeing you as a high priestess in Egypt, like representing like Sekhmet, and I just saw you in like a black dress, like a gown, like super powerful, and a lot of like women around you. So it was like you were just teaching them, and I was there as well, and we were wearing red, and it was incredible because then like all of a sudden you just like I just started to feel like this rapture, like this joy, this bliss, and it was like an explosion of like joy at the same time as power, and like I just started to laugh. Like, what's going on? I don't know, but I love it. It was so powerful. Thank you so much, love. Thank you.
Oh
I,
my God.
yeah, no, I let you.
Sorry. Oh my God, Anna, it was incredible. I felt teased and seduced
Yes.
and like invited into fucking opening myself up, being truthful to my sexuality and owning my freaking power. I was like, I'm gonna seduce you, I'm gonna tease you, I'm gonna bring you into my space. It was like a fucking witch thing. It was incredible. I loved it. Thank you so much. It was insane.
Yeah. I was like, is she an expert? I was like, she's done this before. Like, this is her thing, right? Like, it wasn't like you weren't playing around, but you were playing. It was like, and then when you started getting, because there was like a little bit of like a moment of like sadness, and I felt the pain that went down, and I was like, ooh. And then you started going up, and it was so playful that I had to open my eyes to look at you, and I saw Georgina like looking at you and joyfully like it was so much fun. And the only words that came was mystic priestess awakening. It was like, oh, that you are her. Like it was, you are her. It was pure embodiment. It was incredible. It was beautiful. I have goosebumps. It was joyful. It was fun. It was you.
Thank you, every single one of you. I'm like, wow, thank you for the feedback. And it's so magic to be reflected this, because I felt the frequency of Sekhmet for a while. I felt all of this playfulness and also the depth of the emotionality, and it was through the emotion that it was, and then the playfulness. So and that's so powerful. And yes, Barbie, I have been doing this for a while, and actually my mom and I speak in that language sometimes together. So I've been like, at the beginning it was harder for me, so now but I still felt my mind. So like my mind still comes in and wants to like, oh no, you're not sounding this, you should be sounding like that, or maybe. And it was like, no. And every time like it would try to come in, it was like, no, express whatever it is, right? So and then I was like, from the mind, I wanted to, oh yeah, but maybe you can try singing with light language, because your intention of the calling was sing. In the mind was trying to go in that way, and then I was like, no, just have fun. And then just like Irina was saying, I felt like I was just kind of like, okay, let me have fun with them, right? And let me connect to the intention of what I'm sharing. So thank you.
Thank you, Anna. That was so much fun. Such an activation for all of us. Okay. Barbie, how are you feeling? Feeling ready?
I have no idea what's going to come out, which is very scary. Like, and I feel like I'm choking.
Yeah.
So here we go. I'm going to close my eyes and just. Kiri mi mana mana mi na na na. Kiri kumuni mi mana na ya. Kiri mi mana na na na. Kiri mana 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 na na na. Ah, le mi le mi la 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 wala 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 la 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 la. Kiri kukara ya mana na 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 mana na. Kuro mana ni si na 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 mana na. Hey yo la 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 la. Kiri ya ya la 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 mana na na na. Kuru 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 ah wa e ah wa ah no la la mana na na mana na na. Si lo la la ya mana na mana ah. Quiero yo mana 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 na 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 mana mana na na mana na na mana na mana 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 ya mi na 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 na. Ah, que ya, ya, el mana mana se yo na, pe ya la la ya menina, yo la mana mana na mana mana mana, ah. Ah, que lo mana maya mana na mana mana no mana 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 la 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 tikir kura mana 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 ella lo Kurubiriya mana na na yo mana 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 Aya lo Kurimina mana mana ya mana mana hanya mana 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 Aya
Wow. That was beyond beautiful, Barbie. Thank you so much. I've received such a potent heart activation. Like literally my chest was like spasmos. But like trying to open up and expand more and more and more. And I could feel like all of these tingly sensations happening across my chest and my arms. And then I had this vision at the very beginning of like a snake like moving very fast through the earth, but then all of a sudden becoming into a winged creature. And like it was like this, that it's this archetype, no, of the great mother who's winged, like the winged great mother. And it's this cosmic energy of the mother that just like sort of like embraces you with her like feathers and her wings. and I could feel that energy. It was so heart opening. It was truly beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For me, Barbie, at first I started to feel chills. The first when I started to feel your frequency, full body chills, and I was hearing these as if I felt some sort of like Asian frequency, like you were a monk, almost like I felt like this frequency of like deep wisdom, and it took me through at first to Japan. I was in Japan, then I went to Bali, and then I went to Tibet. So I felt like your frequency, I don't know, was taking me through Asia and through this exactly as like this deep like wisdom, like a monk, kind of like very loving, but also very deep, very devoted to her spiritual journey, very devoted to her, to what she's learning, but she already knows a lot. And for me, like I received it like an activation. I felt it alive in my entire body, in all my cells. But it was not necessarily relaxing. It was also not necessarily like super active. It was just not relaxing, like in the sense of like me falling, but it was soothing. It was like a waterfall of like shimmery light. It was like, and it almost like it felt like it was cleansing my aura because of like the purity of the frequency. It was amazing. You did so
Wow.
incredible. Like what? We were all like, what?
Really,
She,
I couldn't look. I was like,
you didn't even stop. Oh my God.
I was so like I was just so gutted to finish there because like she would just go on like she's on a journey now and we were just
I was
enjoying it.
like,
It was insane. I also want to share, it was insane for me. It was like Anna was saying, it felt like a shower of soothingness, like it was healing. It was healing, like you said as well, Georgina, it was heart opening. It brought me to my center and it anchored me in my body, you know, this protection. It was very, very earthy to me, and it brought me to, I don't know why, but it was really, really earthy and like safe. It was safe and healing. Thank you so much.
Isn't it interesting how each one of us has emitted frequencies that are who we are? And when you started telling me, Anna and Georgina, it was almost like, are you lying? But it's like, why would I doubt that for myself? Even though I see that each one was true to you and I was being true. I was completely surprised by the sounds that were coming out. They felt African to me. I was like, they felt
You
African.
feel African?
Yeah, to me.
Me too. I felt Africa from you. 100%.
What? You got Africa?
I felt Africa from you the whole time.
I
Like
felt
you
Africa though. And I was like, I have you too, Anna.
What I felt, it was more Asia, but now that you say Africa, yes, I feel it. And what I also felt, it was Arcturian starseed. I don't know if you resonate with
I don't know
Arcturian.
anything about that.
Okay, I don't know why that came through as well. They are the protectors of the galaxy as well. So
Yeah. It felt, I was like the na. I was like, that feels very African. And then I felt like I was in like a monastery too, like in the halls of like chanting. And I was like, I didn't get in my mind at all, which was very surprising. It was only like a split second, but I was like, just let it express. And I felt completely vibrated and like soothed in my heart. So when you said the heart, it was like I was soothing myself. I've never made those sounds in my life. I was like, that was amazing to witness and experience. Wow, what a gift. Wow.
Thank you, Barbie. And to reflect that back to you, you said the words, I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's do it. Imagine the beauty and the healing that happens when your mind doesn't have a clue on what's gonna happen. Like, let's just anchor this in ourselves. We don't have to know. We don't have to know what we're about to say. We just gotta trust the channel that we are and trust the exact frequency that's coming out from us. Because as you've already witnessed today, there's so many teachings and lessons that we can extract from this today, right? On the journey that we are on, really unlocking our voice and realizing, wow, we have this frequency that no one else has. We're four of us. Each one of us is like, we just traveled through time and space to a particular dimension, and it was beautiful, and each one of us was unique. There's no competition. You don't have to look up for anyone else. It's just you. You're the one you've been waiting for. This is your frequency. The only job you have is to actually explore it and play a little bit more with it. No? So now imagine like you exploring, okay, what is this expression that is so unique to me? Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit more with it. I'm gonna share with others, see what happens, what's being activated. And just like keep like this open mind and open heart to this exploration, and just keep seeing, okay, what's the next edge and the next edge and the next edge. And imagine like the impact that our voice can have if we just allow ourselves to be that channel. Imagine like the activations that we received today without knowing what was gonna happen, what was it that we were about to channel. We don't have to know. We're not here to know. We just gotta trust and go for it and show up in our authentic frequency. Wow. This has been so beautiful. I'm so honored. It's been so sacred, and I really hope that you could as well like feel the expansion in your heart in this trust in the channel that you are, because honestly it's been wow, so beautiful. I really don't have words for it, so I'm just gonna let the energy speak for it. Thank you so much for opening up to the experience, to being open to also like play and be seen in your expression and your radiance. That was so special and so magical, and wow. What's the next way in which we share our voices? Who knows? Now we've been initiated into light language, so just keep playing and keep exploring what comes next, and let's see what else awaits for us in this journey. I have a dare, Anna. Watch out when Anna has a dare. She's dangerous. She's dangerous. Wow, to do it. Whoa.
Light language in the Living Brave Live, like just around, like
I see that. Yeah. Let's make it happen. Yeah. I take it.
casually talking to each other in light language.
You were sorry? I missed that.
Just casually talking to each other in light language.
Done. Let's do it. I mean, we've already done it in the street, like talking in light language, and it's the most activating, beautiful, healing thing that you can do, because like just own it. Like take it to the extreme and own it, because if you do it in that space, you can own it in your day-to-day, in the way that you share your voice in whatever context. So, if you always keep this openness and this playfulness to it, the sky is the limit. There's no limit. So let's explore it in this like context. And Irina, go and play with your son and like talk to him with light language and see what happens. I've been talking to kids in light language. They get it, they know, and they get back to you in their own unique frequency way, and it's magical. So definitely invitation to explore that, because it's truly healing, and that could be also like such a beautiful thing to do together and to connect deeper. So I'm excited to see what you do with this now, with this new edge in your expression, and yeah, excited to keep on this journey with you. Of course, feel free to drop whatever comes through in your life, because this is like a big activation, no? So drink lots of water. Like, let's see what, I don't know, maybe dreams come up tonight, like whatever it is, just journal about it. You can come onto the Telegram, share it. We'll be there, and let's see what else is unfolded. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being for being and sharing your beautiful, unique frequency. And let's keep going, my loves. I'm so proud of all of you. I love you. Bye bye.